I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another review. There's another paid request, this time for Wes, and it's for a film called Car Wash from 1976. Which, to be honest, I had not seen until now. Now, I had heard a lot about the film. I knew Richard Pryor was in it, but I also knew it would be a very small role. Same with George Carlin. May they both rest in peace. Richard Pryor, George Carlin, two fantastic comedians. I wish they were around today to give their opinion on some of this ridiculous stuff going on nowadays. But I also, I knew he had a bit role. Like, Richard Pryor is in this for a 5 or so minutes because the movie is the day in the life of this car wash. A typical day, the ups and downs of the characters, what they go through, mostly a comedy, slice of life. At one point, Richard Pryor pulls in, and he's this evangelist called Daddy Rich. And the Pointer Sisters, they play his entourage called the Wilson Sisters. And most of the people, oh, we love you, oh, yeah. Well, because money walks and bullshit talks. And one of them calls them a pimp, but he kind of turns it around and gets people to root for him and ultimately give donations. And he's an evangelist, but he loves money, bit of a con artist. And the Pointer Sisters help him out, singing a song. They get people in their point of view and their tone of, oh, this is fun, yeah, we trust you. I wish the movie was more about him, honestly. And then George Carlin, he appears throughout the film as his cab driver looking for this lady that stiffed him. That was in the car, left, he didn't get the money. So, and it's a waste of him because he just keeps going around going, you see a black lady with a blonde hair? Did you see a black lady with blonde hair? That's really most of his lines of dialogue, except his first scene he's in. Because the first scene we see him in is he's driving this girl in a cab. Oh yeah, I trust people. I like people. You got a real honest body, I could tell. And then she left. Oh, you bastard. But again, after that he just once in a while appears, says the same line. Have you seen this lady with blonde hair? And of course no, because it's a hooker who changed her hair. And then she just stays around the car wash. She doesn't really do anything else. I don't even remember if she had a line of dialogue. She just wanders in the bathroom or wanders over here, stands around, and that's it. And I gotta say, at the end of the day, I was disappointed in this movie. I was rather disappointed. I wouldn't say I hated it. It was fun to see after hearing so much about the film throughout the years. Of course, the song, "Working at the car wash," yeah, which they play that song over and over again. So if you hate that song, you don't hate the movie. But yeah, it's a cute song. I do think it was overplayed way too much. I know car wash, but like that song, I swear, is consistently played throughout the entire film, again and again and again. Like, okay, maybe 3 times or 2, or but just way too much playing the song. The other characters you have there, you have this guy named Ivan Dixon. I think he was on the TV show Hogan's Heroes. He plays this ex-con. You got the very deep voice. Bill Duke. I did not realize Bill Duke, Mac from Predator. He's been quite a few other stuff. Commando. This green brace gonna kick your ass. I ate green brace for breakfast. Right now I'm really hungry. This green brace gonna kick your ass. Yeah, that's Bill Duke. He plays a guy who calls himself Abdullah because he thinks of himself as this black Muslim revolutionary. So he's always about against the man and against the oppression of the man, and he's against Antonio Fargas, who is he's a guy, but he's feminine. But at least they don't play him off as a cliche because he still stands up for himself. There's even a point where he says, "I'm more man than you ever will be, and more woman than you'll ever have." Antonio Vargas, he doesn't play a victim. He doesn't play. I would say he doesn't play as much as a cliche as maybe some people would think. Again, he does. He's not a sissy, he's not a wimp, if that makes sense. Yeah, he's feminine, he's a gay character, but he's not a pussy, a sissy type of character. But I don't know, I just didn't think the movie was as funny as I thought it would be. And I do think it hurt that there really isn't a main character. Like they say, like you read up on reviews, they say Bill Duke is the main character. I guess? Because I guess you just say he has more of a story compared to the others, where he gets fired and then something else happens, but it's hard to even call him a main character because there's many points where he's like disappears because you have so many characters to work with. You have this guy who thinks of himself like, "Oh, I'm a superhero like the Fly." It is like he does this little thing. "I'm gonna walk up buildings," and the other guy going, "Yeah, well you still gonna be full of shit." "No, I'm gonna be a fly." "Yeah, then you be full of fly shit. And that's worse shit. That's worse than chicken shit." That's like, okay, that was one moment that made me laugh. When the guy's like rebuffing him. "Yeah, you want to be a fly? Then you be full of fly shit. And that's worse than chicken shit. That's worse than bullshit." It's interesting to watch as a piece of time. And the fact of, this is how car washes, I guess, were back in the day. There's a lot of people working at this car wash. Even for a car wash that supposedly is not doing that well business-wise, there's a shitload of people. And nowadays, if you go to a car wash, one, if you can find one, two, it's all automated and you have to put in the coins and you have to fucking do it yourself. Actually, it doesn't seem that bad of a job. It really doesn't when you see how many people there are. And this person does this person does that. I'm like, there's like 10 fucking people to a car. To one car. I'm like, wow, it doesn't seem that bad of a fucking job. I mean, were there this many people at just one car wash? Holy shit. But you have a guy who's trying to get on this phone, this pay phone, to call to this disco dancing show contest. Lorraine Gary, the wife in Jaws and Jaws 2, the lead in Jaws 4. she's in the film for a bit as a mom whose kid puked in the car, and she's a bit hysterical about it, and she desperately needs to get into the bathroom to clean stuff up. Like I said, you have the Richard Pryor scene. At one point, you have a family with a dog, and they're playing with the dog, and the dog gets out, but someone stops the dog from getting hurt or anything. And it's definitely a movie that has scenes that would not be done today. Like, you have a woman, and you have a guy literally cupping the woman's tit, and the girl goes, if you want to feel something hot, you gotta put your hand on this beer. I'm like, wow, this would never fly in today's age. Or they hear about this thing in the news, this guy who would bomb places with a pop bottle, and they think this guy's going to do it, but he's actually a bottle of piss. He was going to the hospital to take it for this doctor's exam thing. That's what I mean, like, if Bill Duke is the main character, he doesn't appear enough to really feel that way. I do think without a main character to really focus on, it just seems kind of random scenes put together. Just like, here's a random scene, here's a random scene, here's a random scene. So I don't know if I can really say it has a great flow to it. Like I said, I could count on one hand how many scenes that made me smirk or chuckle a little bit. Like I said, the Richard Pryor bit, but I'm a big Richard Pryor fan. Like, See No Evil, Hear No Evil is one of my favorite comedies. I love his stand-up. Like, I'm a big Richard Pryor fan. But yeah, just I wish his stand-up was on Blu-ray, like Here and Now. And I wish those had Blu-ray releases. But anyway, comedies that have a slice of life mentality, usually I'm a sucker for that. I love Clerks. Clerks, I think, is a hilarious film. I see the Blu-ray over there. Clerks is one of my favorite comedies. Friday with Ice Cube. I love Friday. And actually, I think a song in that is a song in this. All that did next to you. I could be wrong, but I thought it was the same song. I'm like, oh, did that song come from this movie? Or is that the first time this song? I don't remember the name of the song. Is that the car wash theme song? It's da 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 da. I did next to you. Yeah, I'm doing a shitty job rendition of it. But yeah, car wash, for a film I heard so much about, it has a big cult following. I don't know, just something just wasn't as funny as I thought it would be, which is disappointing. And looking on YouTube, I could barely find many people who have reviewed this film, which I'm surprised by. I'm very surprised there are not a lot of reviews. You would think, again, because it seems like a cult film. But, I don't know, I mean, again, it didn't make me mad. I'm glad I saw it. But, yeah, I can't really say I loved it, and it's kind of a time waster. Now, a time waster could be a big statement, because sometimes there's time wasters where, yeah, it's a time waster, but you just put a background noise and it's wasting your time. Like, it's not the worst movie ever. Other time wasters, like, it's okay. So even time waster, I know that could be kind of a fickle thing to say. And spoilers. Like, it tries to have this serious tone with the end where Bill Duke goes bad, he's going to rob the place, but the other guy, Ivan Dixon, talks him down. Bill Duke is sad, he doesn't know what to do, they hug it out. I guess Bill Duke's going to get his job back, even though he was fired. I guess that happened. The hooker, I don't know what the fuck the point of her was, because she hung around and did nothing. I'm like waiting for, is some story going to be involved with this hooker? No. She just hangs around, does nothing. She wrote something on a bathroom mirror. Pretty much it. George Carlin looked for her, didn't find her. I think Danny DeVito's in the film, but they cut his lines out. Dude, sometimes you see him in the background. I think it's like a hot dog place or whatever, a food place he owns. And I guess if you watch the TV version, Danny DeVito, you get to see some scenes with him. I'm like, that's a shame because I like Danny DeVito. Again, a lot of the characters I'm very indifferent on. You have the one guy who just pissed at the other guy because the other guy's like, let me borrow your mask or your ears. Like, he wears these fake ears. So the guy wore the fake ears and scared someone. And then that person gets pissed at the other guy. Why you get pissed at me? That's because he took the fall for the other guy who borrowed this ear thing he wears. So they get back at that guy. He puts something in the guy's burrito and he has to run to the bathroom. So yeah, it's kind of random scenes like that throughout it. Like there's one guy who's got bandages all around him because he's from the hospital, so he's looking like a mummy. And they're cleaning all this stuff. It's like, so I don't know. I just didn't find it. It's hard to review a comedy because comedy is subjective, and what makes you laugh might not be what makes me laugh. I think just the characters. I almost want to say there's too many characters just juggling around. There's just too many characters who's kind of. There's this person, this person. It's just. Someone said the word episodic. I just see what they mean by episodic, where here's this event, here's this event, here's this event, here's this event. You have kind of a string to loosely hang everything together, and here's your movie. About 90-some minutes long. I'm like, okay. Like I said, there's nothing really that awful about it. Like I said, I don't mind the car wash theme. It does have that 70s vibe, and it's un-PC. Away from the age where everything's so politically correct that you have to dot the I's, cross the T's on everything. Think of the children, think of the pussies, more like it. But yeah, just car wash. I don't know, just other movies I would rather watch than this. Friday, Clerks, many others that deal with the time of going through the day in one occupation or one area or one whatever. Indifferent, time waster. That's the best way I could put it. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye bye.